Welcome back to the Resupply Reheated with me, DK.
Hey, me guy next door.
Hey, introducing myself for once. What a crazy day this is.
I don't like it. I don't like the dynamic.
Yeah, this is bad. This is bad. But we have a slightly better tech setup today, so I'm sure this will be an even better commentary video.
You say that, but the amount of tech problems we have on a regular basis on our show because of me, it's up there. It's up there.
Well, you do what you can.
That's right. You should pay more and get better people. Oh no, don't get better people. Keep us. Just pay more.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
That's right.
But today we're going to be watching the quarterfinal game from last year's Nats, which was you guys, Auckland A, against the US East team.
Ooh. We're gonna watch just this one. Just this one, yeah.
For this video, like we'll
video.
cut a second one if we watch the next one.
I'd like to. I don't. Oh, it's become a thing. For any of you who have been around the scene for long enough, you'll know that this guy spends a majority of my time in some sort of medical center, emergency room, at a bathroom floor, something. Something happens that causes me to not really recall the recent tournaments all too well. So it's good that we get to do this because from what I do remember, I quite enjoyed these games.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, how did you feel the morning that this game took place?
So shit. Oh my goodness. So like, I don't know. I'm going to blame Stallion because he's not here, which is how I live my life. Hey, rent's due. Oh, that's Stallion's fault.
Stallion, it was one of you two. It was one of us. We'll go ahead and blame Stallion.
I blame him. The reason I blame him, he went to a Lizzo concert on the Wednesday night, I want to say. And me and him were sharing a hotel room. You know, I don't think it was COVID. Well, it wasn't COVID because I tested for it. It wasn't COVID. But I got sick. And I'd only been around you guys for the week. So, I mean, you know, all signs point directly at him. But
well, whoever patient zero was, you were certainly not the last to suffer. You might have been the first, but you were not the last.
I came into the day. So obviously I play for Auckland A. I came into the morning just not in a good space, man. My body was on fire. I was aching. I think I'd finished up the night before or the day before, like, I was like, oh, I don't feel super great. And then, yeah, woke up this morning and, like, my skin felt like it was on fire. My joints were, like, concrete. Oh, man, it was gnarly. It was absolutely brutal. And is any finals days?
Finals.
Well, yeah, people were like, cool, now you got to go and play lots of Space Marines in a row. Have fun with that. But, yeah, that's how I was feeling.
That's not great. But you guys were facing elimination going into this game. I guess we can go ahead and start it up.
Yeah, sweet.
What changes, if any, did you guys feel like you wanted to make in getting ready for a potential elimination game?
So we didn't make. I don't recall making big changes on the morning of finals because I felt like we had hit some strides the day before. Like we started the week pretty rough and we came into some good form by sort of halfway through Wednesday. We lost some games we felt, you know, we could have won and should have won had it not been for, you know, one or two minor bad mistakes that happened in the game. So we thought we were on our lineup was strong. I was getting some good cohesion with the resupply as the heavy because I actually started the week assuming that I was going to be in the resupply most of the week, and very quickly I changed as the team captain. I was like, nah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're not going out this way.
Yeah. So
it looks like here, if you want to pause it for a second.
Yeah.
Here, it looks like at the start of the game there's a fight for upstairs, but this fight goes on for a little while. Red goes directly up and takes into the nest, or they called it panic room. I don't remember exactly what you guys called it, but the little area at the top of Long Ramp. They managed to take that, and then you guys kind of start making your way up through green on that hallway, and then there's going to be this little contested spot in the middle for a while.
often what happens in our maze, at least from a game from memory, is there's always a battle for upstairs, and usually whoever wins that battle for upstairs has ascendancy if you're both battling for upstairs. The meta kind of changed as the week kind of went, as people got more and more comfortable with I mean, you guys specifically got more and more comfortable holding blue disco. But yeah, that's sort of how this game started. Yeah, you can see in the video, like, I'm kind of just holding off. We're kind of in like a holding pattern.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like that's where Red is as well. Beans went and got his bases right away to get that early nuke.
Mm-hmm.
Was Morange basically coming up like the long ramp to attack here? Were you guys planning to do this kind of little flanking maneuver?
Well, that's normally, again, it's normally how we kind of start the game, is we try and run that flank. But there's not, I mean, he hasn't got a lot going on. I mean, yeah, I think they're kind of holding him out on the other side. So maybe I could have been a bit more aggressive here and pushed to help him kick them downstairs.
Well, it's a good move by Cookie Dough running back across that kind of area to backtrack into the area that they're trying to defend. So you can't really move forward super quick.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
you got him and Cody down right there.
yeah, Cody's trying to push out to kind of do what I should be doing, push out, put a little pressure on, just to get the other team out of upstairs, because it makes it so much easier to for an attack to attack a resupply when they're downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Cookie Dough is Mischief, right?
Does Luke.
Ugh.
Yeah, Mischief, yeah. Whatever their names were.
But
Stop changing your names.
Oh,
guys.
no, bloody youths. This is
You guys got pushed back like momentarily, but then essentially they didn't really have any follow-up attacks, so you guys just come right back up.
Well, because it was just a scout. Like, I was able to stand there and just wait till I came up and...
Mm-hmm. All right, so why don't we pause it right here?
Yeah.
Because this was the first interesting wrinkle in this game, is that Orange gets the nuke over nuke versus Beans here. So, like, do you remember when this happened in the game? Like, what you were thinking at the time? Did you hear both nukes going?
I don't recall remembering that. I imagine that I did. I tend to pick that stuff up in our maze, even like, just playing regular members nights, because it's something I think older players got so used to doing, was listening over the loudspeakers for the nukes. And I don't know how many newer players kind of take those audio cues, at least at first. But if you could pick them up, I would have heard both drop, or I would have at least heard enemy nuke activate. I mean, if we take it back a smidge, let's go back. Enemy nuke activated over the suit. Because I've gone... Yeah, we set tracks, I guess.
And really not a whole lot happens in the aftermath of this nuke, because I think maybe both teams must have heard enemy nuke activated. So everybody essentially gets ready to backtrack and defend rather than push forward and capture space, because had like people been in the direct position, you could have taken it right there.
Exactly.
But you have moved forward a little bit, because now Sneak's in like the forward position, the diagonal wall. So you guys are like pushed a little bit more forward, and it seems like Cody's now all the way back. And you guys are kind of battling in that hallway just outside.
Yeah. Bean seems to be pushing up the green ramp, just based on who's getting put down by my resupply and myself.
Yeah. So he's trying to flank right now. So it's almost like both of you guys are trying to like flank the other team,
right.
And you're just kind of getting mixed up in the middle.
This is kind of a symptom of two good like defensive backlines being able to like take upstairs and hold upstairs. It looks like they've gotten a little bit of ascendancy, the red team, against us.
For the moment.
But
for the moment, things look pretty good.
Anytime someone seems to be getting that ascendancy, they just can't capitalize. So here comes the heavy... Oh, I mean, yeah, they just got unlucky there.
And here's the Morange flush was coming up here pretty quick because Morange basically pushes them all back into that hallway. So now Leech is
Oh,
coming in.
nice.
Morange just, oh man, annihilates them.
That's a
That
good
was
attack.
that was such a good frontal attack on
Yeah.
that one. Oh, and here you come, and here I come behind you to make sure nobody chased anybody.
That's a good refereeing.
Got to move around a little bit once in a while, guys.
Says you.
Now again, okay, so they counter nuke. And it looks like Sneak gets bashed around a little bit there. You guys are kind of caught. Ooh, Cheeseburger just took you and Morange to the cleaners. Couple of amateurs.
Yeah.
You let a scout reset chain, you guys.
So
That was a
that
nice little counterattack by Red.
yeah, it is, and they've got us pincered. Like with a heavy on one side, I just managed to get Cody there. If I think if the trade off had gone the other way, if he would have beat me, we probably would have been kicked. And that's like how fine a margin it is. But Beans is doing work on my.
I know, right?
Oh look, it's both sides. Beans is doing work on my medic.
Oh, he was going full out. Like there were definitely the standout players in this game. For most of the game, Beans was kind of carrying it.
Yeah.
But then like you and Leech make such a difference on your team with how much you end up racking up score before you even have your bases.
Yeah.
And then Morange kind of catches up a little bit later.
I like to think of this final series as my Michael Jordan moment. Michael Jordan flu
This was
game.
definitely your flu game right here. This whole match, I was like, oh, I heard Steve wasn't feeling good, but he's crushing it right now. Nobody was getting past him. That was the thing I remember just from reffing this game is every time you were in that green hallway and they tried to send two attackers, you were just like, nah.
Yeah. Later, Bo.
Nope, I'm going to get you both.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a heavy and a commander. I don't care if it's a scout and a commander, whatever it is.
Now, I can't do that myself, and I think Beans got a little unlucky there because, like, I had stood up and where the medic is directly behind me. Technically, that's a shield because Sneak did take shots at him. Well, I assume it's a shield. It's hard to tell because you're not at that angle, but it looked like a shield. So,
Ball don't lie. I don't remember who was reffing in that room. I think it might have been Al who was reffing in that room.
It's such a tough one and should be called more often, I think. But it's always so hectic in a resupply. But whenever you have a medic tucked in behind, either an ammo or a heavy, it's so hard for an opposing player to make that extra step around another corner essentially and try and take that hit in the medic. And it's not something that we do on purpose. Like it's not like you're just sneaking behind me, just stay there and just take shots from out. But it's just something that usually happens in the flow of the game. You take a step out, you take a step back, like you shake it all about, that sort of stuff.
Yep. Oh, I remember this moment that was coming up because Cody was having some kind of battle with Morange, but he basically delays his attack coming into you guys, and so it gives you a much better shot. Okay, so their Beans came in just to get that last little medic hit, and now he has enough for the nuke. So
nice.
I assume that's why he just took off super quick. But I remember thinking that and saying, okay, well, Beans is about to get the nuke. You see, Cody is here dancing around in the bottom screen with somebody. So he's in perfect position here when Beans activates this nuke.
To push.
I don't really know what he did because it seemed like he went down one of the ramps rather than pushing into the room where you guys were.
And
so
I
don't
guess,
really know what happened there.
Yeah, without sort of watching that happen as well as that attacking player, you don't know if the paths are set. You've got to assume that the paths have been created because you could see two of my players. I think it was maybe two scouts ran.
Well, that's because you guys had the room. Like he should have already been at that corner
exactly.
as the nuke is dropping.
Exactly
ideally.
Right.
And I mean, Cody definitely copped a little bit of abuse in the chat from this game. I think partly as a result of that failure to follow up on a nuke. But Cody does do something pretty key coming up later in the game. So I don't think people can completely lambaste him for what happens here.
Yeah, and it's always easy to judge from afar because you don't know what else is really happening in a game. So like those things that that might be little things like, I'm going to go quickly get that reset. You don't know that it's taking you out of position to do something game changing or game wrecking or whatever it might be. So it's
Mm-hmm.
he did cop some shit, and I thought it was not really that founded because I thought that he had a good game. I think that I had a better defensive game.
I would
And
agree with that.
it happens.
I mean, you're just menacing that hallway right now.
Yeah,
waiting
well,
for
so
anybody to come up one of those ramps.
we've now got upstairs, and that's where us as Auckland are at our strength when we have cohesion upstairs. Oh,
Like, this is great because Sneak is basically keeping that entire field of vision occupied. He's okay. So now he comes back to double Morange, so Morange can fill up a little bit. You missiled Cody not too
Yeah.
long ago, so yeah, you guys are definitely like in terms of like tactical control and control this game. Even though Red is winning on points and Beans is doing really good, Josiah is doing really good.
do we
Which
miss
is
a
also
nuke cancel?
Let's see, not yet. I don't think.
Well, they were just
That
talking
should be
about
coming
it,
up pretty
but-
quick. That should be at like the like 11:30 mark.
Right. Sorry, but yeah, they're talking about it in chat.
Oh, maybe it did already happen.
Maybe.
Oh yeah. So back up a little bit. It should be.
It's
Where
just
is the
before,
other
yeah.
one? Oh, it's at the 9:44 mark. Is we have the orange nuke.
Marge activated nuke.
Yeah. So Cody ended up
Cody
canceling
canceled
that
it.
nuke,
Yeah.
which definitely bought them a little bit of extra time because you can see that even though they wouldn't have killed Applesauce or anything, they weren't super healthy on lives. Now they have 3 people over 20, but that extra set of lives off of them definitely would have slowed their advance quite a bit.
That was unfortunately something that was happening all week. I like Morange. Morange, a very good player, has come up in leaps and bounds, but given how many nukes he had cancelled that week, I'm not sure how he managed to win Commander awards for this tournament, but whatever. No, love you, bro.
Shots fired.
Love
at
you, bro.
Orange.
I give him shit because I openly say I didn't vote for you.
Well, too bad. He's got the trophy, so.
I'm glad, actually. I'm
doesn't
glad
matter.
that he did, because everything else he did was pretty good. It's just that's one of the key things as a commander is like your nuke drops, especially in your home arena. And I think he got caught out a few times, and then it became like, you got in his head, Oh, that's good
Yeah.
from the resupply.
Well, now he's definitely on the attack, though.
Yeah.
Because at this stage in the game, we've crossed into the late stage for sure.
He's
and,
just pushed
no,
out the end.
he's still got more shots. Yeah,
He
he
just
he
pushed
needs
out
to be
the end.
going out here.
Yeah.
Because the biggest thing I think at this stage in the game is the commanders really only need enough shots to make sure they get to the next nuke. Like that should always be their immediate objective. If they haven't stacked and you're just trying to like push the offense forward, you just have to keep it up for tempo. I feel like.
You can kind of see
Okay, so-
by my demeanor
Mhm.
that the sickness has really taken effect because I'm.
You're just doing that little like LeBron James. Let's rest for
Yeah.
about 3 seconds in between plays. Like, okay, I pushed 2 people out. Let me just stand still
Just
for about 4
steady,
seconds. Catch my breath.
I'm checking the corner.
I mean, still though, you're at $5,000 with only 1 base, and Cody was on $4,000 with 2 bases. So you were definitely pretty far ahead of your mirror on that point.
Yeah.
I think that might have just honestly been why chat was being a little mean, just because if you look at the comparison, you're way ahead, but you were definitely
Yeah,
having
I
a
was
real
so
good
mad.
game. You were having a real heater on this one. You
Yeah.
and Leech, both super crucial.
Yeah.
Leech ended up being a huge difference maker because he and Josiah were like neck and neck for quite a while, but then he's raced ahead by about 1,300 now.
Yeah.
So he's just crushing the scout
He's
scores.
such a good partnering attacking partner.
Yeah.
If you want to somebody to attack with, it's got to be one of the King brothers. But I would say in recent years, Leech has probably got the edge over his brother. Just because his passion for the game might be a little higher than 2K's, but.
His passion for the game is definitely high. Sometimes it overflows. But who among us can't say that?
That's right.
Yeah, he's getting okay. So he got another little reset. He's just attacking the 3 hits himself.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna start taking hits out of him, but that's also super helpful. And Morange coming back, getting more resupply. He really doesn't need it that much.
It's
Oh,
interesting.
but he's pulling the nuke. That's what he was doing. Okay.
See, Ray in chat, and this might come back to the point you were saying. Ray in chat
Mm-hmm.
has said that Cody needs to go fight. That's what Steve is doing. Nah,
Yeah.
it's just like it's not like I don't think I went down to attack because my body was just like, haha, ramps. Nah, bro. Don't
Oh,
get
you're still
pushed.
upstairs.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're just going to keep feeding you points. Oh, that was a nice little
Exactly.
backtrack right there. Okay, so Cody comes in to get everybody, but he can't tag
get
you.
me.
So I again run around the corner, make sure I'm like, don't be a bad boy, Cody. But he wasn't. He targeted everybody but you.
Yeah,
So that
that's
was
good.
Good on both your parts.
That's good play.
Mm-hmm. So Sneak went out first, but that really doesn't make any kind of difference. Like if I'm the medic in his situation, I'm like, I'm good with that. I got my bases. I know this game is almost over. You guys don't need me in there. If anything, this just frees you up to attack more.
Yeah.
Although at some point you should probably go think about getting that base. Jeez, you guys are making me run around that corner all the time. It looks like I was another player here.
It's what a good ref does.
I was getting into it. It was a super close, fun game to watch.
Yeah,
both medics out. But
I'm glad when referees do that. Like it's such a necessary part of the game.
Yeah, I always worry about getting in the way, but you always want to make sure that the players know that you're watching proactively for those chases and things like that on those crucial corridors.
Oh, GuyNextDoor still hasn't got his base.
Ooh, yeah, you and King are really taking it down to the wire here. Which, I mean, you guys are up. You'd have the game anyway, but that extra $2,000 is like so huge when you don't know what's going to happen in the next game and
it's
eliminations on the line.
Yeah.
Okay. 15 seconds to go. What's going to happen?
Go get your bases, you chat. Oh, King's got his base.
Oh, there it goes.
Good job, King.
Oh, 5 seconds. No way he's going to get this.
No way he's going to get it.
No way he's going to get this.
Oh.
How did you even get all your shots off in time? Like, based on the clock, Heavy's only supposed to be, what, 2 shots a second, right? It did not seem like you had enough time.
Scumbaggery is what that is.
But I think it was nice to see that reaction time that came up for both the commentators there.
Yeah.
There's definitely a big gotta get the good YouTube thumbnail on that.
That's right.
Unless your mouth is open about 2 centimeters, you're not getting monetized on the video.
Yeah, exactly right. That's definitely getting flagged.
So that was game 1 of the quarterfinal. So you guys were up about fast forward in real quick. Let's double check the final score.
The ends. Here we go. That's the thumbnail there. Shot Lucy.
Ooh. Yep. Finally, we had better resolution. But,
yeah, stupid shit.
The stream was handling quite a lot that week, shall we say?
Yeah.
So you guys are what is that? Like $4,000?
32.6
behind my bar, so I couldn't see what it is.
Yeah, 32.6 by 36.3. So
yeah, so a little under $4,000.
Yeah.
I mean that's certainly not a comfortable lead because you have to consider the prospect of elimination, but it's like as long as we can play it close again, $4,000 is a decent advantage against teams that are very closely matched together.
Yeah. And I mean, how
did you guys feel after looking at the score when you came out?
Again, like I don't remember a whole lot because I think I came out of this game and I don't think I collapsed after this game, but I was like, oh my god, we have to run the next game like immediately because I'm dying. And I think whenever you come out of game, I think I came out of the game pretty juiced. But basically just running on fumes because we had some really tight games with USA East this week. I think they maybe bested us over the week. I can't remember.
They were higher on the table going into finals.
Yeah.
They were in slot 3. You were in 4.
Yeah. So, I think that the teams, like we played up to team 3 and 4, you know what I mean? Where we were fairly evenly matched. And this game basically shows that because $4,000 in Space Marines is nothing. Like it's something happens.
Yeah, it's not comfortable because the prospect of elimination is always there. But
yeah, you kill like a resupply out quickly and they don't get their bases. Like that's potentially $2,000 there. Like, and that's why it's so important.
The fact that you did get all your bases is huge,
massive. But if you look
at that differential, it's basically you and Leech are the difference makers in this game. If you look at your counterparts, because Beans and Orange pretty close. If you look at like the scouts in the aggregate, King's pretty close to Luke, but yeah, like just you and Leach went crazy, and his was mostly on the offensive end. Yours is mostly on the defensive end, but points are points. Doesn't really matter.
Shout out to Light as well. I mean, he's got an extra 1,000 over sweets for the week, so
Yeah.
That comes in clutch too. And if you look at the footage, like when you watch back that game, there's key times where he takes the last shot. Him and Sneak have taken the last shot on like a scout coming through or whoever it might be.
So crucial.
Oh, massive.
So crucial.
You need to have your resupply doing work. Like if they're solely relying on everyone else to protect them, then things are going to probably go poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you got to be able to handle an attack and scout.
Yeah.
You don't want to get kicked by one scout. There is no worse feeling in the world being like, really? We just got kicked by one hit?
Yeah, honestly. And I think that was part of my issue going into this week, which is part of what forced the switch from ammo to heavy was my inability to trust my heavy to do what he needed to do, which takes me out of my game for what I need to do. So, and that wasn't on Light. That's more of an indictment on my ability to trust my teammates, because I don't know, like if you get into such a habit of playing a position one certain way, or you get into your groove, and heavy is such a niche thing to kind of break out of. So
yeah. But from my point of view, once you guys started running this lineup, I was like, this is the lineup that they need.
Yeah.
Like, this is the best confluence of just all the different pieces that fit together.
Yeah.
Because I know you ran a few different ones, but when you hit this one, I was like, that's a tough lineup. Like I was really glad that we beat Brisbane in the previous match. I'm like, I don't have to play them again. I'd rather, just skip to whoever we're going to beat in the finals.
I think with and again, it's definitely not an indictment on Light. I think he, as a heavy, he's an incredible heavy. He's just also a far superior ammo to me. So that like you get more from the combination of me heavy and him ammo than you do from him heavy and me ammo. So, that's the better way to run it. So, but to your point as well, like Beans did work. Like he outscored Morange. He put a bunch of pressure on. He just couldn't quite crack the resupply. Couldn't quite get in and have that one really devastating attack run that kicks a resupply to a spot where the scouts can pick them off, or it's hard to kind of regain a foothold back into the game. It didn't seem to be that moment, at least from watching the camera feed. So
yeah, and that's what makes the difference at the high level of competition. You really
huge.
When teams are firing all cylinders, you can't really like kick a team by yourself, even as a commander, even as a heavy sometimes, because if you're going up against the other heavy, you might just mutual a lot. So you need that team support and that multi-winged attack.
Just someone has to come in, and mop up like whoever's left, right? It's tough, and it's not to say that he didn't have that, because it looked like Cheeseburger and Cookie Dough were both putting pressure on.
For
I don't
sure.
know, they just, maybe it was like a timing issue. There was a couple things there where like say Cody didn't break in on the nuke run because he was busy trying to get a reset or something, and the timing was off by 10 seconds, which is massive. It gives us enough time to come back online, me to reset, and so maybe it was just that. Maybe it was just one or two mistimed kind of things that unfortunately went our way. Well, fortunately for me, went our way.
Yeah. I mean, that could explain why maybe neither team was able to crack the other, but building up that 4K advantage is more than just a couple of moments. So there was just a lot of the little things, I think, in this game that maybe the scout picks up that one extra reset. Somebody runs out a little bit farther rather than being like, you know what, I'm probably not going to get him. Let me catch my breath here for a second. But actually taking that, let me take my 10 feet, let me take my 3 meters, see if I can get this reset on somebody, and just stacking up a few of those.
Slow to react.
The hustle plays. The hustle plays.
Exactly right. And you can kind of see it again in the camera footage, when you see both teams on the camera feed upstairs for what seemed like, I mean, if we go back, it seemed like
I had a bit. You start pushing forward in the upstairs at about the 3-minute 11-second mark.
Yeah.
I think. But I think about up to that point, really, the first 3 minutes of the game is just the teams on opposite sides of upstairs trying to push back and forth across the middle.
Which is such a long time in a 15-minute Space Marines game. Like,
yeah,
3 minutes is ages.
Most of the time, those skirmishes for upstairs, they lasted like a minute. It's either a team captured it,
yep,
or they didn't, and they decided to go downstairs.
Yeah, and yeah, like I think maybe in their mindset, like, we can't let the home team hold this strong position because they know how to hold it. Like, this is by far my most dominant position to be as a heavy. Like, I can hold upstairs. I know how to hold upstairs. It's really hard to break if I'm holding upstairs. Not to toot my own heavy horn, but it's really hard to break me upstairs. Less of a task downstairs. Far less of a task downstairs. Yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah.
Good game.
That was a good game. That was a really fun game to watch. Thanks for coming on and talking with me. And next time, we'll see the exciting conclusion. The match to end all matches. Who's going to advance to third?
Yeah.
Who's going to drop to fourth?
Yeah.
You probably already know.
You probably know. I'll just move.
You probably know. But we're going to do another commentary video, so we'll see you guys next time for that one.
Ka kite.